stitch. And with the long stitch, you're pretty much just sewing your signatures onto the hardcover itself. And I'll show you how to mark that in, and we'll cut this out to size real quick. So what you want to do is just to kind of see how much you need, so we'll just use this corner here.
And usually the corners are 90, but double check.
So I'm just going to grab one and grab the other one and kind of just give yourself a good space. And you can measure this all out later and cut down the hardcover edges if they're a little bit too long when you close your book. But it'll all come together. So I'm just going to say just around there. Just I'm going to do half just to cut this out. This is at 3/4.
So this one won't have a hard cover, like it'll be a soft cover.
It'll be a soft cover, but you can use paper or cardstock, and it'll pretty much give it the same hardcover, just not as tough as, you know, with the binder's board wrapped around, or paper wrapped around the binder's board.
And some people do leather, but you'd have to have a sturdy string, and you'd also have to have a strong needle to do that. So. You're using a vinyl. And you already put your 1/8 inch margin around this, or do you go right to the edge of the page?
This one's going to go almost, I guess, a little bit around. I did 1/8 on just one end, so it'll be 1/16, just sticking around each side, just so it won't be too much. But you can do the 1/8 or however much you want to stick out, or your pages to be in. So we're going to do that. And there's also jigs you can do, just to give you guys an idea. These are a couple I did for some other books, different sizes. You would just mark, as you guys can see, just mark each line for your signature and do the, I guess, the length in between each stitching that you want it to show on your book. And that's how this is. And you guys can pass that around just so you can take a look at it. But it'll all come together. I'm going to go ahead and just pretty much make that jig on the hardcover itself, so you don't have to make a separate one, come and poke in your holes. It's all just right in the same cover. And we'll just see how this is going to look. So it's pretty much going to be like this with just stitching on the sides, just to give you guys an idea. And when you count your holes that you're going to punch in, you want to have an even amount of holes, because you're going to go out and in and come back out at the same time at the end of your signature. So we'll just do that to be safe.
So that's important to remember, because some of the tape people that were doing the tape, you went in, out, and then you realized you were going to skip that, so you had to pull it back out. So in the last one, so
I'm just going to line this up, and when you make your jig, it's a little bit easier since it's already there on the piece of paper, and you just come in and punch in the holes. But I'm going to go ahead and mark them onto that same. You could use a Sharpie. Since this is going to be on the inside, you're not going to see it once you sew it in. So I'm going to go ahead and do about 1 inch from each side, from the top and the bottom, on just one page. And I'm just going to mark it here on the corner of the first signature and just make a small dot on the vinyl. And we'll do the same thing on this side too.
So it's 1 inch from the...
And you can do whatever measurement, really. I'm just doing that just because, just so it can look even on both sides. Let me use something else because that's pretty bad. And so you want to have an even amount. I'm going to go ahead and just do, I can probably do, I'm going to do 6 just to see how that goes.
So in your personal books, do you do this one often or not?
I do when I have leather or, you know, just different types of material that's kind of like this, flexible. But not really with paper. I like to do the hardcovers just more.
So if you had a good piece of tandy leather, this would be your, this would probably be the best one for that, right?
Yeah.
So, pretty good.
Okay, let's see. Cool. Let's see something too. Okay, I think that should be good. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And you can pretty much just match them out across if you line up your paper.
And is the gap there for to add more signatures?
Yep, to add more signatures. So if you have 2 or just less or more, you would just make it a little bit wider, and you can measure out what you want the spacing to be. But a good 1/16 or however thick you see your signatures are, which are really not that thick, you don't have to space them out too much. But that'll just give you more room in between. So since those are marked, I'm just going to go ahead and try to split them down the middle.
How many signatures are we going to do in this one?
Just 4.
But again, could have, what would be the max most people would do for signatures on this?
They could do a lot if they want to, or probably get 10.
10 would be a good max number to think about. And how many pages are in a signature? Would you guesstimate about 4?
4 or 3.
So.
But
okay.
yeah, if you do 10, just imagine with thicker paper, you're gonna have like this much.
Yeah.
The thickness of probably like an inch, or no, like an inch and a half. And when you're, I guess, making books, you just have to take into consideration measurements of your spacing. And let's say if this is an inch, you want to split it 4 ways in between.
Bless you.
All right. I think those are all pretty even. I'm just gonna finish out these lines onto these, into the next signature. Then I'll do this side with this one. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and punch in